You and your family are relaxing in the middle of a Philadelphia traffic jam when all hell breaks loose. People have become mindless, bloodthirsty cannibals and are sprinting to get a taste of your flesh. These zombies have zero chill. What will you do when the zombie apocalypse reaches you and you've got a family to worry about? I'll be going over every mistake made, what you should do, and how to ultimately beat the zombie horde in World War Z. We open with Jerry, a retired UN investigator having a normal day out with the kids, stuck in city traffic when a crowd of panicked people starts to overrun and infect everybody in the traffic jam. Luckily, a convenient truck driver clears a path right for Jerry and the fam to drive past all the traffic. This was a tough spot, and it really was thanks to that truck driver that Jerry was able to survive this. If this didn't happen, you'd either have to hide in the car or run around with all the infected coming after you. Neither option is good. They steal the RV and make it far beyond the infection, but with zombies closing in at an exponential rate and one of his daughters needing medicine, the entire family gets put at risk and they have to go to the grocery store. And I'd probably do the same. Depending on how attached I am to my daughter, there's no way we can Amazon Prime some meds over, even with one-day delivery. They run into this polite, sketchy guy who somehow finds the meds we need in stock, but Jerry's wife is getting assaulted, and we've got to hope that the sniper rifle we swiped has got enough ammo for us to take him out. It's the heat of the moment, and Jerry's got adrenaline pumping through his body, but he's so close to doing the right thing here. According to Hunter Ed, the steadiest position to fire from, besides prone, is sitting with your legs supporting your arms. Jerry doesn't do this because of the stress of the situation, but you might hit that first shot if you keep your hands from shaking with this tactic. They manage to run to an apartment building and are given shelter by this little boy and his family. Now, if we weren't a UN virologist and didn't have a helicopter ticket out of here, we could consider going on a cannibalism diet, but that might not go well with the wife and kids. Jerry turns on the radio, and police are saying to stay sheltered in and prepare with 2 weeks of food, which is very likely to get you killed. We're getting out of here as soon as possible. Jerry does the smart thing and duct tapes some magazine armor onto his arms, but he's failed to cover up his face holes, which could cost him his life. I doubt you'll be able to find some lab goggles out here, but even safety glasses would be better than nothing. They run up the stairs, and the entire apartment building is wanting to take a nibble out of them. Jerry takes a bunch down with his makeshift bayonet, but one gets right on top of him, and projectile vomits blood at his face. He gets a mouthful and almost suicides himself before they're able to get away and make their escape. Alright, this was very noble of him, but once he turns, he wouldn't be able to control what he did next, and would probably try to eat his family and get killed by the chopper guys. What's left of the military convinces him to go investigate the source of the disease, with Dr. Fossbach and a team of SEALs. They get to South Korea, and the sounds of rain mask their footsteps. But when a single zombie comes in and attacks the team, the SEALs open fire and attract the whole horde to their location. Alright, they could have definitely done better here. Using a silencer would limit the radius of the sound and attract fewer zombies. The Harvard virologist nerd doesn't even make it 10 steps off the plane before he pussies out and turns to go back when he trips and shoots himself in the head. Lamest death of all time. Instead of having that philosophical Mother Nature talk, Brad Pitt should have shown him a thing or two about guns. All those PhDs wouldn't teach Fossbach what a safety or trigger is, and it costs him his life. Almost the entire team of SEALs gets easily taken out by a handful of zombies, when Jerry gets saved by the local military guys. They bring him to their secure base, and he finds out that the doctor who was bitten by a soldier out in the field went and took down an entire team back here. He gets a clue from this toothless Florida man, who points him to Jerusalem, which has walled off its city, and is doing better than everyone else right now. The local military goes up to refuel their plane on squeaky bikes, when Jerry's wife gets a ton of them killed with a badly timed phone call. Jerry gets tackled to the floor, and the captain sacrifices himself to save him. If you forgot your plot armor at home, would probably be the end of you. Outrunning them on the bike and being quick on the draw with a gun or knife is the only way you survive this on your own. Muting your very loud sat phone when you know that you're in an area where loud sounds are punishable by death is an obvious precaution to take, and neglecting to do so almost got you killed. Jerry arrives at Jerusalem and is shown the huge salvation wall that keeps it safe from the zombies. Now, if you were a country or city rich enough to do this, it'd probably take more than a week to erect massive concrete walls all around your city. In that case, you'd be screwed just like the rest of the world. Let's say we do accomplish this. Their security is just not up to snuff. Like in 28 weeks later, the fortressed country of Britain gets compromised by letting people in like this. They need to cap their population because more people in here means more stupidity and opportunity for all of this to be ruined. It seems like everybody in the city doesn't know or care that zombies get excited for noise, because they crank the speakers to max and have a celebration party right next to the wall. Jerusalem could have avoided this entire disaster just by making sure everybody knew these obvious facts, but instead, the city implodes, and now we're in an insanely vulnerable position. When these hungry, ravenous zombies create a tower on top of themselves and then start throwing themselves down the wall, this safe haven becomes hell, and now it's time to head out. They lose a couple soldiers on the way, and Jerry has to amputate his bodyguard's arm before she turns. And she'd probably be a goner. Chopping off her hand is optimistic, considering it takes 45 seconds for blood to go from the heart all around your body, and then back to the heart again. The disease wouldn't be isolated to her hand, and she'd kill you. Holding a gun to her head as a precaution may be extreme, but it's the safest option for us if she turns. Despite everything we've just said, he manages to save her, flagging down a plane to take them away. The city is overrun, and there's nothing they can do. Okay, in real life, people would be far more desperate, and this plane would be packed completely full of people. They'd be in the cargo hold, up with the luggage, and standing in the aisle. And because of this, the chances that one of them was bitten, fled here, then turns this movie into Train to Busan are very high. In fact, this is even worse than a train, because we have no built-in barriers like doors to cut them off from us. We have to prod every single passenger on this plane, check their eyes and mannerisms, and hold them up at gunpoint. That way, we're sure that the plane is clean. We should start with the bathroom, because that's where I'd go if I were an infected person trying to hide out here. It's definitely a jerk move, but anybody who's bit would much rather die with their mind fading to blank than be ripped to shreds by a rabid horde of zombies. Lucky for us, it's the rear section of the plane that gets hit first, but we're unlucky enough that it's just Grandma's curtains that stands between us and imminent death. There's not much we can do apart from stack the luggage as a barrier and try to eliminate the spread. Everyone else apart from Jerry just looks around like idiots, while the rear cabin gets completely overtaken. Just like in Train to Busan, people are just gonna start running towards us, and a pile of luggage isn't gonna stop them. So popping the grenade off now in the pressurized cabin could work. We could consider hiding out in the pilot's cabin, because it's the only secure place left on this plane, but we'd still need to get out, and fighting through hundreds of these things just isn't gonna happen. Being in the back of the plane actually has the highest chance of survival in a crash, but that isn't really possible, so you'd better strap in and hope your plot armor is thick enough for you and your bodyguard to be the sole survivors. Make it to a World Health Organization research facility against all odds, and go face first into zombie-infested territory to get lethal pathogens that will supposedly make us invisible to them. Okay, this is a really bad idea. In the wild, animals detect diseased corpses through smell, and humans naturally don't have great smell compared to a lot of animals. People just don't have the parts necessary to do what the zombies are doing in the film. If they're doing it off smell, we could try making a pathogen cologne that makes us repulsive to them, though I'm no scientist, and this is all speculation. When offered a choice between a baseball bat, crowbar, or an axe, you should always choose the baseball bat. It's lighter and won't get easily caught on skulls, so it gives you a better chance of survival. none of the strike team are wearing any PPE on their faces, which the World Health Organization, of all places, should have plenty to spare. Safety goggles and masks may limit your peripheral vision, but getting zombie blood in your eyes or mouth would be even worse. They should also consider lures like firecrackers or other noisemakers to get them out of a tough spot if need be. At this moment, we're navigating a maze of doors and hallways, and behind every corner is a zombie waiting to sink his teeth into us. There's really no rush to test this theory out, so take a couple hours and do some better prep. Learning the map and the layout of the place, as well as getting a keycard or codes to access locked areas, would give you better odds in this death trap. Despite not doing any of this, Jerry still makes it to the vault, and leaves his only weapon outside, when there's really no need to. Unless you want to knock a zombie out with your bare hands, you'd better keep that crowbar close to you like your life depends on it. Not only that, but they didn't even tell him which diseases would be good candidates for invisibility. With no communication and knowledge, he has to blindly make a random choice and hope the screenwriters have mercy on him. Alright, this would be easily avoided if you 1. Didn't leave his weapon outside like an idiot, and 2. If they'd taken some more prep time and gotten communications up and running so he'd know what he was doing. He picks some benign form of meningitis off the shelf, proves his theory correct, and humanity is saved, thanks to the good and bad decisions Brad Pitt makes in World War Z. But what are your thoughts? Would you survive World War Z? Let me know with a comment down below. Thanks for watching this video, leave a like if you enjoyed it, subscribe if you're new, and I'll see you in the next one.